Hey everybody on YouTube, Hella Bella here. This video is about my $30,000 savings goal for 2018. I decided to post this publicly and I just wanted to do that for accountability. I was sitting there journaling and thinking about all that I could possibly accomplish with the rest of the year because I mean we're getting on the halfway point for 2018, and I was thinking about money and what I could do with it if I had more of it. And we always think if I had X amount, then I could do so much more than what I'm currently doing. So for me, the $30,000 would be my kind of nest egg for investing in real estate. I have about probably 6 weeks left until I can get my license. I'll be taking the state license exam pretty soon. What this means for me is saving about $800 a month. I currently have the 22,500 because it's towards the end of May. So I really have about 7,500 left to go in my savings goal. But I just sat down and kind of thought about this and kind of tried to come up with some reasonable numbers. Some months I'll save more, some months I'll save less. And these are just based on, just pulling them out of a hat, like some when it gets closer to my birthday and things like that. And of course I wrote at the bottom, I still have to pay my bills, car insurance, gas, groceries, the dogs, the grass, the car, the tag renewal, AAA, tax payments, my CPA, and still have money to run the business. But at the end I wrote, this is very doable. I still think it's doable. A lot of money I find that I just waste because I don't track my finances very good. And after February, I started to really look at how much money I was spending on like going out to eat and just junk and like stuff I didn't need and just random things, like just buying stuff I didn't need at all. And I'm trying to really kind of embrace using what I have and trying to kind of not have too many possessions. Like right now I am trying to get a new bedspread, but I already have like 2 bedspreads and I know that I need to like sell the other ones before I go get another one. So just little things like that where you don't want to have 2 or 3 of one type of item that's not functioning. I just feel like you should just sell it and get a new one, and don't keep a backup. Like a lot of people keep backups of everything and you just wind up having 2 of everything and it's so excessive. I've been really thinking about my first investment property, and I've been scouring the market and trying to talk to people about getting a home loan. And getting a home loan is a lot different when you are self-employed because you don't have a paycheck to be like, okay, here's my yearly, paycheck and here's my tax forms. They're going to go off of my my taxes that I paid, but they're also going to go off what I paid on my profits. And so if I make it look like I made no money on my taxes, that it's going to be problematic whenever I try to go get a house. That's how they evaluate how much money they can give you a loan. Luckily for me, I live in a market where the houses are extremely cheap. I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house on a corner lot, and it was like $68,000 purchase price. So I don't think I won't have any problem being able to put down 20%. But I think with FHA loans, I don't actually have to put down the 20%. I can put down less than 20%. And I also have been learning about capital gains taxes and how if you or the house is your primary residence and you live in it for 2 years, and then you flip it and say you make $50,000 flipping it, you don't have to pay any capital gains on that property up to $250,000 for single people and $500,000 if you are married. So it's not really realistic for me to make that kind of money in this market. I think with flipping properties locally, you could expect to make anywhere between 15 to 50 on a house, but there's just not going to be a couple $100,000 that you make. I've been watching the Bigger Pockets podcast. This is their YouTube channel, Bigger Pockets, and it's about real estate investing, and they bring on different people every week, and they have webinars. It's an incredibly inspiring podcast, and it's really, really good for people like me who need to hear the stories to really believe it, because I feel like real estate investing is a lot like flipping and a lot like running in the Amazon or eBay business. There are so many of these like guru people out here, and so many people who are just predatory on people who are naive. And I feel a little bit sorry for the people who spend their money on this stuff, like classes and all this crap, information that's basically free. But at the same time, real estate is like got to be one of the most common ones where they just suck in people and try to get them to go to these like seminars and crap. And it's just, anything you're going to learn in almost any business, you're going to learn it with your boots on the ground, honestly. Like, there is nothing that I have read in any book that's prepared me for like what I've done in my businesses. You just can't figure it out until you get there and you get started and start doing it. I think that the business books really help with the psychological mindset that you need to take on when you are starting a business, and resilience and drive and motivation, and networking with people who have similar goals and interests. But at the same time, you really cannot pick up a book and just get all that you need from it. I like to read negotiation books, and I like to read psychology books to kind of get an edge and try to apply some of that information to my regular life. But at the same time, I feel like that you just have to kind of put these things into practice before it can be valuable. So my $30,000 savings goal to me is very achievable, but something that I'm going to have to be diligent about. For instance, I am going to get paid, like everyone, I get paid on Friday for Amazon. You get paid every 2 weeks, and the money hits my bank account on Monday. So every Monday when I get paid, every 2 weeks, I like to take about half of it and just stow it away into my savings. But I also have to have enough money to put back into the business. Luckily, with books, the cost of inventory is relatively low, so I haven't spent a whole lot this year. I have both of my spreadsheets pulled up for my businesses. Let's take a look at this. This is my Amazon FBA spreadsheet, and this is what I give my accountant usually after I get it all polished. These are the payouts for each period. You can see my payouts, stay about the same. They really range in the 7 to 800 range. Just depends on what I have going out. And then this one is not, this one hasn't been completed yet because we're still in this payout period. So paid out this year, I've only been paid out $7,719, which is not a lot of money at all. And this, you still have to subtract my cost of goods sold to get the profit. One thing on my cost of goods sold, this $6,000, it doesn't really, it does reflect reality, but this is for my accountant, so I'm trying to add as much cost as I can. On here is products that I buy, books, all the places that I go to, but also on here is my lunch, and I believe supplies, books, and no, let's see. Oh yeah, Airbnbs, those are on there, and let's see. Yeah, any kind of tape or supplies that I buy. So you see I got paid $7,700. Cost of goods $6,000. So the idea of the spreadsheet, it does give me an idea of what's going on capital wise, but I would say that it's not a complete picture of what's going on. And then we take my mileage. This is the, actually I need to put that as a $sign, all of it. This is the deduction for mileage. Since I got Mile IQ, it's $650 a month. So for 12 months, that's a $78 deduction. And you can see how much money Mile IQ is saving me every month. This is not an advertisement for Mile IQ. It sounds like it. But anyways, yeah, $650 a month. For my mileage, in 2017, I just told my accountant to do $200 a month because I didn't know. And now I'm realizing it's closer to like $350 to $400. Even February was $538. I think May is going to be like $450 because I took 2 trips for sourcing. And this is a legitimate deduction. This is not like something that it's not like something that I just, made up off the fly. It's definitely completely legal deduction. I make quarterly tax payments, so these are based off the previous year's earnings. So $495, I pay that 4 times, I think, about $2,000, which is about what I paid for taxes. These will be paid. I think I have another one coming up in June. They're paid quarterly. They're quarterly payments. You have a little tax coupon that you send in, but that just cuts down me having to pay $2,000 all at once for taxes at the end of the year, and that does change as you make more or less money, so could end up wind up getting a refund, but I doubt that because sales tend to trend upwards. And then my FBA, or my merch spreadsheet. This is, I actually put the month I got the money instead of the month the money was for. So like this was December's payout, but I received the money in January. So that's how I do my spreadsheet. So the payout for April that I would, I guess, receive in May, that's kind of confusing. $898.68. So that is the latest payout. So the problem with merch is, for tax purposes, there's no overhead except for hiring graphic designers or purchasing images for commercial rights or things like that. Overhead isn't even 10%, so there's very few deductions. So like taxes on this are going to be a lot. Like just, you know, think of 30% for taxes. Then we've got 1523. However, when we think about that, we can deduct that mileage from this, even though that's not referring to this business. It's one of my businesses, so I'm still going to deduct that from my total. So my accountant, definitely hire a good accountant, guys. I cannot stress that enough because they will save you money in the long run. Let's see what else I have pulled up here. I'm working on a shipment right now, so I kind of have a lot of windows up, and of course I was checking my bank account to see how poor I was. I'm not that poor. I have my, which here's the breakdown. Basically, I'm going to save about $800 to $1,000 a month up until December. End of June, I want to have $23,300 in my savings account. And writing this down is just a good way to visualize and think about it, and kind of feeling like the money is going to be there will make the money be there. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you really believe that it's going to happen, you'll make it happen, you'll manifest it. And I really love, you know, the concept of positive psychology, and talking to yourself like you like yourself is very, very important, especially when you are in a business where you are mostly isolated from the world. So of course I have this YouTube channel, but a lot of my day is spent just me, the dogs, going to different areas and running around town. I mean, the most people that I see during the day are usually older people because they're also the ones who are kind of have free time. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to kind of put it out there and say what I was doing with my finances, and that I hope to save 30 grand by the end of 2018. So thanks for watching.